On June 25, 2009, the world lost the King of Pop. But behind the candlelight vigils, the tears and the global headlines, there was a family, 5 brothers, each carrying not only his own grief, but the unbearable weight of the Jackson legacy. This is what really happened to Michael Jackson's brothers after his death. For the world, Michael was the superstar, but for Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Randy, he was their little brother, the youngest in the original Jackson 5 lineup, the quiet one, the shy one, the one who transformed into a global phenomenon. And when he died, something in each of them broke. But how they responded wasn't the same. Let's start with Jermaine, the most vocal after Michael's death. In fact, Jermaine was the one who announced to the world that Michael had passed. He stood in front of the hospital cameras, shaking, grieving, broken, and said, "Our beloved brother, the King of Pop, has passed away." Jermaine took it personally. He had been Michael's closest sibling in the later years. He tried to defend Michael during the 2005 trial. He believed in his innocence. After Michael died, Jermaine led public tributes. He performed "Smile," Michael's favorite song, at the memorial. And you could hear it in his voice. The pain, the regret, the love. He even tried to organize a concert in Vienna and later in London to honor his brother's memory. But they fell apart. Why? Because even in grief, the Jackson family struggled to stay united. Tito Jackson was always known as the quiet one. And after Michael's death, he stayed mostly out of the spotlight. But behind the scenes, he was deeply involved in keeping the Jackson name alive. He focused on his own music for a while, finally releasing a solo album in 2016. It was blues-inspired, heartfelt, and honest. Tito also focused on his sons, Taj, Taro, and TJ, which one known as 3T. They had been close to Michael, and after his death, they tried to step up, especially TJ, who would later play a major role in Michael's children's lives. Jackie Jackson, the eldest brother, responded with a quiet strength. He supported tribute concerts. He gave interviews, always speaking with admiration and care for Michael. He was one of the brothers who continued to tour with the Jacksons, a reunion group that formed after Michael's death. Jackie has also worked behind the scenes on music projects and managing legacy assets. He stayed calm, respectful, focused on unity, but the family wasn't always unified. Randy Jackson, the youngest brother, became more involved in legal battles. Randy had been at odds with Michael in the past, over finances, over control, over family decisions. And after Michael's death, he spoke up about his suspicions surrounding the estate and Michael's will. Randy, and sometimes Janet, challenged the legitimacy of the executors handling Michael's music, money, and image. He even helped organize the infamous 2012 Jackson family letter, which accused the estate of forgery and demanded the resignation of those in charge. This split the family. Some siblings agreed, others didn't. It was messy, it was public, and it was painful. Then there was Marlon Jackson, always the emotional core of the group. At Michael's public memorial, Marlon broke down as he said, "Maybe now, Michael, they will leave you alone." That line hit the world like a punch to the chest. After Michael's death, Marlon focused on humanitarian work. He co-founded the Study Peace Foundation, spreading messages of kindness and healing. He didn't chase fame, he chose purpose. In 2012, 4 of the brothers, Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, and Marlon, went on tour as the Jacksons Unity Tour. They performed hits, spoke about Michael, and tried in their own way to heal. But something was missing. You could feel it. The 5th brother, the voice that once stood at the center of the stage, wasn't there, and it would never be. The Jackson brothers each handled their grief differently. Some stayed in the spotlight, some retreated, some fought for control, some simply mourned. But one thing remained the same. They all loved Michael, and each of them carries his shadow, whether they admit it or not. Today, years after his death, the world still celebrates Michael Jackson. His music lives on, his fans are loyal, his children, Prince, Paris, and Biggie, are growing into adults. But what about his brothers? They've aged. They've moved on in their own ways, but in every interview, every stage appearance, every tribute, you can still hear it. The ache, the pride, the loss. Michael Jackson was more than a pop star. He was a son, a father, and a brother. And after he was gone, each of his brothers was left with a piece of that shattered world. Some tried to fix it, some walked away, some are still searching. Because when the brightest star in your family burns out, you never really move on. You just keep singing to silence.